there's a pretty cool update. We can now edit ProRes RAW natively in DaVinci Resolve, and even the Blackmagic Pocket 4K has now ProRes RAW support. Let's check that out. So I think this is a really welcome update, and now there are suddenly no fights more between Apple and Blackmagic. We all can benefit from that, because if you're using like an Atomos recorder or you have a camera that records internally ProRes RAW, you can edit it now in DaVinci Resolve 20.2, which you can download, and it's pretty cool. But also the Blackmagic Pocket 4K has now ProRes RAW. So if we go into the menu, then we have Blackmagic RAW, ProRes RAW, and ProRes. And there is a difference in between the capacity or storage consumption that each of this codec will have. So for example, if you use ProRes, let's see, ProRes RAW, then we have 1 hour left on the card. So if we choose Blackmagic RAW instead in 12:1 compression, we have 3.5 hours left on the card. And if we go to 8:1, we have 2.5, and so on and so forth. So I think the compression on the ProRes RAW is about 4:1 if you compare it to Blackmagic RAW. So we have the codec is much more efficient on Blackmagic RAW, so therefore that's cool. And also there's no difference between ProRes HQ and ProRes RAW, so that's basically the same consumption. So therefore, if you choose ProRes HQ, I would advise using ProRes RAW, because then you have more flexibility in post. By the way, if you're from the German-speaking area, then I want to highlight the Creator Summit, which is gonna happening in January 2026 on the 17th to be exact. We have very cool speakers there covering various topics in filmmaking and photography, and we have many brands there: Canon, Sony, Nikon, Blackmagic, and so on and so forth. Red Bull will be even there. So a really cool event to connect with other filmmakers and photographers, and also to learn something new. And it's a pretty cool event. Ticket sale is now online. It will be in Bayreuth near Nuremberg, so in the southern Germany area, and I would be really happy to see you there. Check out the link in the description below. If we now switch on the computer, I have here one clip shot twice, one in Blackmagic RAW and one in ProRes RAW, and we can see there's image-wise no difference. Colors hasn't changed, nothing. But if we look inside the RAW tab, we see a substantial difference, I would say, because on Blackmagic RAW we have much more things that we can adjust. We can adjust the ISO, we can adjust the color space, we can adjust highlight roller, saturation, gamma and stuff like that, highlight recovery, and so on and so forth. On ProRes RAW it is a little bit limited, I would say. We can adjust the white balance, we cannot adjust the tint for some reason, so I think this will come in a future update. I hope so. And we can adjust ISO and exposure a little bit. We can also choose a specific gamma or color space that we want to work in, but either way, if we change that, it won't change the colors. So it's just for workflow preference. If you want shooting with other Blackmagic cameras, I would say, then you go into the Blackmagic color space, and so on and so forth. For me personally, I still prefer Blackmagic RAW or Red RAW, simply because I have more options in compression ratios, and also I have more options in post-production. But either way, ProRes RAW is still great, and it's really great that I can now record it on my Lumix camera and have some sort of RAW internally, which is great if you want to have more flexibility in post. So I think we can all benefit from it, and let me know what are your thoughts, and let's chat in the comments, and I'm gonna see you in my very next video. Cheers!